Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we will learn about Python literals. So what is Python literals? So in Python literal basically there is five types of literals. First is a string, second is a numeric, third is a boolean, fourth is a special, and fifth is a literal collections. So in literal collection there are also four parts, which is a set, tuple, list, and set. So let's understand one by one. So first we will understand about string literals. So what is string literals? String literals can be formed by enclosing a text in the quotes. We can use both single as well as double quotes to create a string. Right? So as we can understand with the example also. So in single literals there is basically two parts which we can store in the single quotes like for the single line string, and second one is the for the multi-line string in which we can use multiple lines, but that string will be in the triple quotes. So let's understand it with the example. So we are going to Visual Studio Code. So let's come to this point and now create this one. Okay. So here is a literal.py. So we have created this file. So let's understand that how we can store any string. Like there is an example of text1 and we can print it hello. So like now we will print it. Print text1. Now we will save the program and run. Now you can see that hello has been printed. In the same way, if there is any string we want to print multiple lines, so we can store in this way. So let me copy it and paste. Here we need to make one changes, like if there is a 5 codes. Okay, now we will print here string 2, string 2. We will save the program then run. You can see the output, welcome to SSSIT. So in this way we can print single line and multiple line. Next, let's move to for the numeric literals. So what is numeric literals? In numeric literals basically there are four types. First is an integer type, and second is a long, third is a float type, and fourth is a complex. So we also can understand in the way like if there is 100, that is a decimal literal. It is an integer. It is coming in the under the integer. If we talk about long integer, so long integer is the like hexadecimal number. Okay, and if we talk about float, so float is the something which the value is in the point, and complex value is like 5 plus 3.14j. So in this way we can understand about the numeric literals. So let's run this program in the Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to copy this code and let me comment it out. Now we will paste here. We'll save the program and run it. Okay. Now we can understand 20, 100, 141, 301. The value of x is 20, which is in the form of binary, and 100 is decimal literal, 141 is a octal literal, 301 is a hexadecimal. And when there is a float 1 and float 2, and when we are calculating a plus 5.3.4j, then we are just adding these numbers, right? You can see that here is the output. In the same way, the float 1, float 2 has been printed, And if we talk about a dot imaginary and the real number, then in imaginary the number is 3.14 and the real number is a 5. Okay, I hope you have good understanding of about it. Now third is a Boolean literals. So what is Boolean literals? A Boolean literals can have any of the two values. First can be true or false in the form of true or false. So we can check like one is the it equal to true, y is equal to 2 is equal to false. We are checking the conditions only, right? So how we are going to print? So let's understand it. Copy the program and again we are going to make it comment. Now let's understand the Boolean literals. So here is the example of Boolean literals. We are checking the conditions. So the output will be in the form of only true and false. So x is true, y is false, z is false, a is equal 11. Like true plus 10. So 2 is means the value of 1 and b means false, false means 0. So in this way it is adding. So this is the basic meaning of the literals, right? Now let's come to the fourth, which is a special literals. In special literals, Python contains one special literal, that's it. That is a none. None is used to specify to that field that is not created. It is also used for the end of list in Python. None is also used in the list, and when we are nothing passing, that is called as none. So let's copy this example and check in the Visual Studio Code. Let me make it comment. We have pasted this code and we are going to run it. So now the output is value 1 is printing 10, but when we are giving none, it means the output is also in the form of none. Now last and the fifth is literal connection. So in literal collections, Python provides the four types of literal collections such as list literals, tuple, dictionary and set literals. So in the list we can understand list contains the items of different data types. Okay, list can store that data can be integer, it can be a string, it can be float, it can be long, anything it can be. Okay, we are storing and the value stored in the list are separated by comma and the code and in the bracket, square bracket we are using. So here is the example. Let's understand it now. Now I'm copying this code and in Visual Studio Code I'm going to run. I have commented it out, pasting the code. Now let's check it. So you can see that what is the condition of list. In list, it will be in the square bracket. We can store different data types in single list. Like you can see here, there is a string, there is a float value, it's an integer, again it's a string, and in list one also. One more thing, in list there are some function we can add something, we can remove. It's a mutable, so we can make changes in list. Like we are adding list plus list one, so it is a list and second one is a list one. So we have added the 4 5 6 and Andrew in the same list. Okay, now let's understand about the dictionary. So Python dictionary stores the data in the key value pairs, right? It is enclosed by curly braces and each pair is separated by the commas. So in dictionary basically we stores the value in the form of key and value, like we need to store any name, any road, any age, any roll number, or it can be any marks or We can ask about the any country, anything it can be. Okay, but to understand it, we just need to know that how it is just working. Okay, so if we talk about the dictionary, okay, so we are going to copy it. I'm copying this code and we'll go to the Visual Studio Code. We have make it comment, paste, then we are going to run it. So here's the example of dictionary. We can check the output. In the same way, there is a tuple. List and tuples are basically similar, but there is a only minor points we need to focus on. Okay, so in Python, tuple is a collection of different data types. As we have learned about the list, so list can also store the different data types, and tuple also can store different data types. But in tuple, it is immutable, which means it cannot be modified after creation. If we talk about list, so we can make changes in the list, but if we talking about the tuple, so tuple we cannot modify anything, we cannot make any changes. Okay, in list we were using square bracket, but in tuples we are going to use only parentheses, and each element is separated by the comma. So these are the basic things we need to understand about the tuple and the list, whereas the working of the both is same. Now let's understand the example on Visual Studio Code. I'm going to make it comment and I'm going to paste this code. So here in tuple you can also see that, yeah, so the output is a 10 20 div 234. So you can check here that we are storing the integer and a string in the tuple. Now let's understand the set. In sets of Python, set is a collection of the unordered data set. It is enclosed by the parentheses, curly braces, and each element is separated by the comma. So in set we are storing the data in the curly braces and the data is in the unordered way. Their order will be keep changing again and again. So let's understand in the example. Now I have pasted the code. Now I'm saving this thing. Now the what is the output? Grapes, apple, papaya, guava. I'm again going to run this program. Now you can understand that what is the difference. Now grapes, guava is in the second, apple is in the third, and papaya is in the fourth. Again I'm going to run it. Now you can understand grape, apple, papaya, guava. So in many time if you will run the program, so the output will be the different. So in this way we have covered the about the Python literals. So if you really loved this video, so please thumbs up and do your valuable comment. And if you haven't understand yet, so you can watch this video again. Okay, and I'm making the Python videos and we are uploading in the playlist. So the playlist you can bookmark in your browser, so that will be easy to access for you.